trees go. Sorry about the sun. Alright guys, I'd like to go over my first flight here. Before I launched it, I did have a blown first attempt on my first flight, and this is it right now that we're looking at right here. And basically, you know, this is a new thing to me. The motor's pretty heavy, and I took off, and I'm typically used to kiting, so I grabbed the brakes really hard when I pull it up. But when I pulled it up, since I'm typically used to grabbing the brakes hard, I grabbed the throttle and squished it, and the motor went really hard, and it just went crazy. So I shut her down. So here's my actual first flight, my perspective. Unfortunately, it was set to time lapse. That was very unfortunate, but at least I have some video. At least I have something here to go off of. I took off. I did okay. Felt fine. Lifted, pulled it up, kited it up, went off. But I ended up jumping into the seat because I was a little afraid of taking off with my feet underneath myself, rather than, typically you're supposed to just let your feet lift off of the ground. I guess I was a little afraid of that. Instead, I kind of jumped into the seat. A little fear of heights. In the past, I've done other things in the past, like skydiving and high altitude mountaineering and rock climbing and stuff like that, which have kind of mostly conquered my fear of heights. So it wasn't too bad when I went up there and looking around. It was actually pretty enjoyable flight. First impressions on this equipment, this new equipment. Again, this is my first flight, so I don't really have no way of nothing to go against, but I did notice something weird. It wouldn't steer right on the right direction. I'm not sure why. I did choose to have a throttle on the right side, so maybe that had something to do with it. When I'm steering, you pull the brake and you throttle, or just pull the brake, and it just didn't steer very well to the right. So most of the time I was doing left circles. I did start doing some right ones after a while. I started just pulling harder, just to make myself turn the thing right, just to get some reps going around this park. Yeah, we were in this park. The park is really nice. Has nice grass. The takeoff is really nice. You have a little area of just open area of trees. There's nothing really in there. People can hike around on these trails that are over there. It's pretty nice at this park. And yeah, I was at the beginning, I was very afraid to do hands off. Put the toggles up onto the magnets and take fly around. And I guess some of that had to do with the fact that I didn't really want to go out into the trees or out into the housing area there. I wanted to just stick within the park there, and the park is kind of okay-ish, big-ish, but it's not huge. So when you go hands off, you hit the throttle, and 15 seconds later you're outside the bounds pretty much. So after a while, I did put the brakes up on the magnets and did go hands off a little bit, but it was only, you're talking 15 seconds to maybe 30 seconds, maybe probably not even that. So it was a little unusual doing that. The harness itself felt comfortable. It's the Maverick, has a dudek comfort seat harness, and it felt really good, low vibration, pretty decent. The one thing that I didn't like was that it just was, I don't think it was set up quite properly. It didn't kind of cup my butt properly, and it was okay when I got in there. It felt really good, but then over about a minute, I would slowly jiggle forward, and it'd be like I was just about to fall off, and I would have to scooch myself back into the cup and try and get myself repositioned again. And then it felt really good again, and then just a minute later I'll be out again. So I was constantly kind of fighting that, which was unfortunate. But the harness itself felt really good, felt pretty good. The conditions were pretty decent. They were when I was up high, it was really a little bit bumpy, a little bit. Get jostled around a bit, so I didn't go very high. I think it was the highest altitude. I think it was at like 150 feet, so it wasn't very high, as you can see. Also, I didn't go very far. Like I said before, I stayed within kind of the bounds of this park area most of the time. I tried to go over by that water tower once, and I seen some houses, and I just kind of spun around and came back. So I didn't do too much adventure flying. I just stayed within the bounds of the park. But at low altitude, it seemed fairly smooth. There was a few bumps, not much. Felt pretty decent. The whole flight lasted about 55 minutes. I really didn't want to come down. It was really nice up there. It just felt very natural. Felt pretty decent. It's just really, really neat, really interesting. I know you're not supposed to. It is a brand new motor, and you're not supposed to run the thing past like 15 minutes on your first several flights. But I didn't really throttle the thing really hard, so it wasn't. I don't know. I just felt it was okay, just kind of putzing around for all that time. On the landing, the landing didn't go the greatest, kind of like the takeoff, where I kind of jumped into the seat and I kind of skidded on the ground slightly. On the takeoff, the landing, I pulled. I was pretty self-conscious about this. I thought I was pulling at the right time, but I pulled a little early, and it was enough where I just kind of, you pull, and you just kind of holds you level, and I was up too high, and when it started dropping, I pulled it completely down, but there was nothing left in the wing. There was nothing there, so I dropped down and kind of fell down on the frame and bent it slightly, part of the frame slightly. Didn't break a prop, that's good, but bent the frame slightly. But no problem, I already have it fixed. I just brought it home. It took a while to figure out what part to bend. It was just kind of this little foot part on the bottom of the Maverick, with the loop, and you have to wrench it really hard to fix it. But I got it fixed, and it's good as new. Ready for the next flight. I can't wait. It was a lot of fun doing this.
Oh my God. Here he comes. Coming down, slowly. Did not see a thing. Oh, he's gonna make it. Down. Oh, here comes. Oh.